Welcome to Brain Secrets in the Age of the Brain. Research has uncovered some interesting bits of information about different types of love and brain chemicals. I like to call those bits of information brain secrets. This is February, both my birthday month and Valentine's. Valentine's Day is said to have come into being about AD 270. Me, I came into being much more recently. There were at least 2 men named Valentine back in AD 270, both of whom were put to death about the middle of February. Unhappy thought. One, a priest, defied Claudius II, who had outlawed marriage for soldiers. Imagine. The priest married soldiers anyway in secret. When caught and sent to prison, the priest came to love the jailer's blind daughter and wrote her a loving message. He signed it, "Your Valentine." The other man, also named Valentine, was said to have rescued many Christians from the Romans until he too was put in prison. So maybe Valentine's Day honors both Valentines. The first association with romantic love is said to have come from Geoffrey Chaucer, said to be the greatest English poet of the 14th century. He wrote a poem called The Parliament of Fowls. Parliament meaning a house or room. This famous work, published around the 1380s, introduced a romantic meaning to the celebration of Valentine's Day. Most countries on planet Earth appear to have some type of Valentine's Day recognition, not necessarily held on February 14th, however. And a half dozen or so countries do not celebrate it at all. In recognition of Valentine's Day in the United States, Asia Hudson, assistant producer of Brain Secrets, and Grant Gilmore, videographer par excellence for Brain Secrets, took to the streets somewhere to collect more questions for this episode. I'll find out where soon. Well, Asia, welcome back to Brain Secrets. I'm always so excited when we do one of these episodes.
Thanks for having me once again.
Well, we're sort of getting into a routine here.
Absolutely.
So the topic this time was love, romance, Valentine's Day, so on. Did that make a difference in how you approached people or how you got responses from them?
I definitely would say so. I think that the people that actually decided to stop were very surprised that it was a Valentine's Day question. And I want to say that Valentine's Day and love-related questions maybe inspire like quicker responses because we live in a culture of love. Everybody's on Tinder, everybody's online trying to find, their soulmate and everything like that. So I think that it's just always running in the back of people's minds. So it was actually a shock for people to be throwing out questions so quickly that I really liked. I thought they were great questions.
Well, it's interesting about how people respond. And we've talked about on previous episodes when they didn't respond and it was a rejection of sorts and how you felt about that. So did you get any of that on this episode?
There was a lot of it, and you'll see where we're at after you watch the video.
Right.
But based on where we were, there's a lot of hustle and bustle in this area. So I was very surprised that there weren't a lot of people stopping, because when we've gone to other cities, people will be like, "What are you guys doing?" And they'll stop us and try to participate. But I literally had to like lasso every single person to the mic. And it used to put a damper on my vibe, but now I'm like, okay, just pep and power through it. So I was able to just keep hammering through.
I'm really proud of you because we've talked about in earlier segments that rejection actually hurts in the brain, like a physical, because that social rejection, overlaps with areas in the brain, and it can actually hurt. Mm-hmm. And I'm really proud of you that you've got it, that it's not about you.
Thank you.
Behaviors don't come out of a vacuum. Mm-hmm. There's always something behind a behavior. We don't know what that is. We just see the behavior. And so it's really easy to jump to conclusions. Well, isn't that rude or unkind or selfish? But you never know what has just happened in that person's life that may have their heart and brain all engaged, and they just can't do anything else.
Definitely, that makes sense to me.
So it's kind of interesting to watch the different interplay. And I get to watch the film for the first time when we're on set, and I always enjoy that. So speaking of which, Grant, where are you on the other side of the camera?
We got the laptop all set up for you, ready to watch.
You're so good. Thank you. All right, let me see the film. That looks like Hollywood. Did you go to Hollywood?
Hey y'all, my name is Asia Hudson and welcome to Ask Dr. Taylor, where we take to the streets and ask random people questions about brain function. And then we take those questions and send them back to the desk of our world-renowned brain function specialist, Dr. Arlene Taylor, PhD. You know the deal. Today, we are in Hollywood. We have never been to Hollywood for an episode of Ask Dr. Taylor, so today is the first day. As you can see, I got my little heart ears because I'm just in time and very festive for Valentine's Day. And today we will be asking a very specific question, which is if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love and romance and its impact on the brain, or some variation of that, what would you ask? All right, here we go. Let's see. Everybody's looking at me already, so this might be easier than I thought. And here we go. Hey, y'all, can I ask you a quick question? Okay, that's cool. Can I ask you a quick question? It's about love. Y'all are together, right? Okay. All right. Hey, y'all, can I ask you a quick question? Sure. Okay, awesome. We can all do it as a family.
She actually recognized you.
Okay, right on. All right, so the question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love, romance, and its impact on the brain, what would you ask her?
Does it hurt?
Does what hurt?
Does it hurt?
Love hurt.
Dad, you got something for us?
Does it occur multiple times?
Does love occur multiple times? And I'm going to add to that, how does love multiple times have an impact on your brain? Like, what does that do to your brain chemistry? Okay, right on. Thank y'all so much. Bye. Thank you. That was great. That was really good.
Does love hurt? Well, my brain's opinion is that genuine love enhances rather than hurts. Should someone you love die or choose not to love you back, that might hurt temporarily. However, you carry within you the memory of those you love deeply, and that can be comforting. As an old saying goes, I would rather have loved deeply and lost than not to have loved. Does it occur multiple times? And how does love multiple times have an impact on your brain? Your brain and heart can love limitlessly and exponentially. Since everything begins in the brain, those you love do impact your brain. Being happy and having an intense feeling of deep affection and trust for at least a few individuals, which takes time to develop, by the way, all can enhance a sense of well-being in your brain. And I might add, think about children. You loved your first one, you loved your second one, you loved your third one, you loved your fourth one, you loved your grandchildren. It's limitless.
Hey, y'all, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, right on. Okay, how do you guys know each other?
School.
Awesome. Okay, so the question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love, romance, and its impact on the brain, what would you ask her? That's a really good question. Dr. Taylor, is falling in love good for your mental health? And then you want to follow it up?
I don't think I have any questions about love, honestly. I'm good.
No problem. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Is falling in love good for your mental health? In a word, yes. Except falling in love is a term that describes a whirlwind of emotional intensity, which is somewhat unstable, however, and tends to fade within about 12 to 18 months. But loving someone is more permanent and long-lasting. Studies have shown that the lack of healthy, genuine love between individuals can cause serious dysfunction and even death. Genuine love causes positive neurochemical changes in the brain, which then positively influence the biochemistry of the body. Loving another person as unconditionally as possible and making time for your brains to connect is good for your mental health.
We're moving down. Hey, y'all, can I ask you a quick question?
What's that?
Ooh, it's a romance question. All right, the question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love and romance and its impact on the brain, what would you ask her?
Shit. Does love at first sight exist?
Okay, does love at first sight exist?
Good question.
I don't know.
Does love at first sight exist? Well, being in love is an intense, emotionally charged situation that tends to fade with time. It likely involves sexual attraction. It's separate and different from having learned to love someone deeply. That's based on respect and trust and honesty, all of which take time, sometimes years. Sexual attraction at first sight? Definitely yes. Genuine love at first sight? Nope. That probably does not exist.
Dr. Taylor, do you like my little danglangs?
I like
My
your
little heart ears?
heart
Heart
ears.
antlers? Hantlers? Heartlers? I don't know. You come up with a hybrid name. You're a genius. You're the doctor. Hey, y'all, can I ask you a quick question?
What's going on?
Easy. Okay, so the question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love and romance and its impact on your brain, what would you ask her?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
Don't walk away, we need support.
What is love?
Okay, what is love? That's a great question, actually. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. What is love, Dr. Taylor, from like a scientific or brain function specialist standpoint? What is love? I like that.
People have been trying to come up with a definition for love for eons. My mother, a language teacher, said that you love animate things like humans, creatures, live trees and plants, and you like inanimate things. But these days, love seems to be applied to anything, even bug spray. Genuine love likely is not an emotion. Some call it a principle or a choice. The Greeks, talked about eros, which implies sexual attraction or lust, which may simply be a desire for or an addiction to sexual exercise and have nothing to do with love. Philia, love between friends and equals, and agape, unconditional love for family and family of choice. What is love from a scientific standpoint? I thought about this. So, what do you think of this definition? Genuine love is the result of a cocktail of neuropeptides and neurotransmitters that combine to provide an intense feeling of deep affection and trust.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question? All right. Does that mean yes? Is that a yes or a no?
Oh my.
Is that a yes or a no? I'm confused. I don't speak Darth Vader. It's about love. All right. I guess he doesn't talk. Okay. He's in character. He's in character. I can't hate on that. Okay, Dr. Taylor. So every time we step out here on the streets to get some questions from the people, we always have a theme, and today's theme is, does love at first sight exist?
Love at first sight.
Love at first sight.
Love at first sight exists.
I like that. That's a good theme. I'm ready for new questions, but it's a good theme. Let me ask a question. You know what's something that we never do, Dr. Taylor? We never ask our cameraman what his question would be. So we're going to prevent him from being on camera because I'm sure he would rather be behind it, but I am going to extend my mic over the camera to ask him what his question would be.
Good.
Are you ready? All right. So, cameraman, as you've heard a million times, the question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about brain function, love, and romance, and its effect on the brain, what would you ask? Here we go.
I would ask, where did the concept of soulmate come from? You know, where did that, whose brain came up with that? Where did that come from?
Okay, a very deep question requiring a lot of research. But I like it. Where did the concept of a soulmate come from? And how does your brain react when it thinks it has found its soulmate? That's a twofer. We're always doing those. All right, let's see who else we can get. Good job, cameraman. Good job.
Where did the concept of soulmate come from? Like, who came up with that? What a great question. A contemporary of Plato, and no, I didn't know him personally, a playwright named Aristophanes is credited with that. Aristophanes created a story about some intersex giants, each of whom had two heads. Zeus, king of the gods of Mount Olympus, became jealous about something or other and cut the giants in two, top to bottom. Their fate was that forever after they would seek their other half. Now, a playwright's story in Greek mythology hardly forms a solid basis for believing that there is such a thing, if you can even find him or her. There are many brains that could do well together. It depends upon how their brain function meshes, their interests, level of emotional intelligence, areas of compatibility, and for sure, how they manage their incompatibilities, which always exist. And how does your brain react when it thinks it has found its soulmate, if you want to use that term? Some brain matches are more energizing than others. Neurons in the brain and the heart release electromagnetic energy. The neurons also function as transmitters, sending and receiving their frequency potential. Similar frequency potentials can help two people feel comfortable with each other in terms of the way each brain thinks and functions. Compared with someone who has a very different brain function style from yours, that can feel like a soulmate to the brain.
Hi. Yes. What are we doing today? Oh, so we work for this educational company, and we come out here to the streets and we ask people questions about brain function. And today's question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love and romance and its impact on your brain, what would you ask?
Why do people cheat if they love you? If they say they love you, why do they cheat?
No doubt you've heard immature little children say, "I love you, Mommy. Now, can I have a cookie?" To me, that's sort of an analogy with a cheater. The cheater may care about you at some level or not. Their need for an exciting sexual fix outweighs everything else. They may say, I love you, to get some free time so they can leave. Some are addicted to PEA or are just selfish and want their cake and eat it too, or like the adrenaline rush of superficial variety, or are emotionally immature with low levels of EQ and think only of short-term gratification and nothing of trust and loyalty. My brain's opinion is that cheating involves delusional thinking, a distorted state of reality, and a twisted logic that tries to justify their behavior by blaming it on someone else. Those who cheat or who move quickly from partner to partner are likely addicted to that powerful PEA chemical, phenylethylamine. In today's vernacular, that behavior would likely be referred to as smash and dash.
Dr. Taylor, what does it mean for one's heart to skip a beat? You know, oh my God, I love him so much. It made my heart skip a beat. And I got to be honest with you, Dr. Taylor. There's somebody in my presence currently that makes my heart skip a beat. I have a crush on our cameraman, but I'm not sure if it would be an inappropriate union. What do you think?
Do you like me? Yes or no?
Yes, babe. I like you a lot.
Oh my God, the camera guy likes me. I'm gonna lose it. Okay.
Oh my. What does it mean for one's heart to skip a beat? Well, one's heart literally could skip a beat, often referred to as palpitations due to an illness or disease. In the context of this topic, however, the phrase likely is an idiom, indicating how happy you are to see a person whom you love deeply. As a child, when I saw someone I loved deeply, I would literally skip for joy. Metaphorically, think of a heart sensing the genuine love and trust connection, and it skips for joy.
All right, Dr. Taylor, I have a question, and the question is there, what kind of chemical is released in the brain when you see someone you love, and is there a difference between seeing someone you love as like a family member, or seeing someone that you're in love with, or seeing a friend? Are there different chemicals based on the level of love? You tell me.
Okay, let's go. This is a very complex question. The short answer is yes. Different chemicals are involved. So take sexual romantic attraction. That's fueled by 3 attraction chemicals. The first is phenylethylamine, or PEA. It is an incredibly powerful amphetamine-like neurotransmitter that can turn you into a pea brain in a nanosecond. It increases elation. It decreases boundaries, conscience, morality, decision-making, and judgment. Incidentally, PEA is also found in avocado and dark chocolate. Just saying. The second attraction chemical is norepinephrine that triggers the gut butterflies, the sweaty palms, the pounding heart, the lightheadedness. It regulates sexual arousal, reduces thinking functions, and increases one's risk of becoming a mental bug on speed. The third attraction chemical is dopamine, the feel-better chemical, 50% of which is in your gut. It's linked with the brain reward system, with emotional responses and addictions. So the attraction chemicals typically are produced and influence sexual attraction. 3 very different bonding chemicals are released to help couples develop a happy, deeply committed relationship. unless it was a poor relationship choice to start with and bonding never ever occurred. The first bonding chemical is endorphins, the brain's natural morphine. Levels increase with physical exercise and sexual activity in the presence of committed love. Endorphins promote attachment and comfort, calm anxiety, reduce stress, and relieve pain. The third bonding chemical is oxytocin, a hormone that promotes contentment, a sense of security, calmness in the presence of one's partner, and allows orgasm to occur. The other bonding chemical is serotonin, critical for the brain and nervous system to function properly. It impacts mood, happiness, sleep, and a sense of well-being. Bonding chemicals typically influence those you love in deeply committed relationships, including some marriages, but not all.
Can I ask y'all a quick question? Okay, awesome. Okay, so the question is, if you could ask a brain function specialist a question about love and romance and its impact on your brain, what would you ask her?
Am I better off without love?
Oh.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, thank you so much.
Am I better off without love? You are definitely better off without selfish, manipulative, conditional, narcissistic love. You are not better off without genuine love, because genuine love is healing.
And that wraps it up for another episode of Ask Dr. Taylor, where we took to the streets and asked random people questions about brain function for this Valentine's Day holiday episode. Very, very special, very, very lovely. And we got a lot of phenomenal and really sweet questions about love and the brain. The couples didn't seem to want to stop as much as I was hoping the couples would, but nonetheless, everybody that we asked, for the most part, stopped and pitched us a really good question. And back to you, Dr. Taylor. I can't wait to see what your answers are for this lovely episode.
Well, that was fun. And now I know where you were. Mm-hmm. So how was that location for you compared to some of the other places you've been?
A lot more difficult than I expected. I always thought that like Hollywood was like wild and crazy, but it was very mild and lazy.
Good. So, I'm glad you persisted.
Me too. Me too. It took a lot, but me and the cameraman, we make a good team. And so we're just out there getting the job done, asking great questions.
You make a great team and you're getting better and better and better at it. I mean, I've told you many times, my brain function would have difficulty with that. You know, if I'm lecturing for 2,000 people, I have no problem when somebody comes up to me and asks me a question, but standing out on the street, really not doing anything, I don't think I would do as well as you do at all.
Thank you.
So did you have a favorite question? I always like to ask you that.
Yeah, I probably had a few favorite questions. My favorite question would probably be, is love good for your mental health? And the soulmate question that our cameraman asked. I really liked that question as well.
And you know, it's a difficult question to answer because a soulmate is an idiom. And when brains really connect with each other and feel comfortable, you could say that was a soulmate. But if you're thinking about it in terms of where it came from, out of mythology and stuff, you know, it is an idiom.
Right.
So until next time, I really look forward to doing these with you. The team is wonderful. And thanks for bringing me questions that I get to answer because that's good for my brain.
Of course, we love to make it happen for you. What has been your favorite episode so far?
I like them all, and I like them for different reasons. My goal, you know, is to take difficult, complex material and try to make it easily understood by whoever is viewing so they can take something with that and use it to make their lives better. Because I'll tell you, the more I understand about the brain, the fewer problems I have in life. And so when you get questions that people have, then you know that if they tune in and listen, they really were thinking about something, and now here's something else for them to think about.
Awesome.
So thanks again. I can hardly wait till the next episode.
Of course.
And thank you, our viewers, for watching. Our entire production team would love to have you join us for all our shows. May you be safe, healthy, enjoy life, love someone deeply, and be loved in return.